My grandmother's jewelry box had a false bottom. Inside was a cashier's check made out to me, dated the year I was born, and never cashed. My grandmother died on a Tuesday. By Friday, her house had been picked clean by her 3 sons, and I only found out about the funeral through a cousin's Instagram post. I wasn't invited. I was never invited to anything on that side of the family. My grandmother made that clear when I was 9, telling my mother to her face that I was a mistake she was still waiting to be corrected. I drove 4 hours anyway, not for her, for the house. My grandfather built it in 1971. He told me once, during one of the rare summers I was allowed to visit, that when he died, it would go to me. I was 12. He died that winter. The house went to his sons, and I went back to being invisible. I didn't have a key. I didn't need one. The back window never latched right. I slid it open and climbed inside. I told myself I was looking for something that was mine. A photo. A piece of furniture he'd promised me. Proof I'd ever existed in that family. What I found was the jewelry box. It was sitting on her dresser. Same dark wood box I'd seen my whole life, but never been allowed to touch. I almost left it. Then I thought about the funeral I wasn't invited to, and I opened it. Top tray, nothing interesting. A gold chain, a brooch. 2 rings that meant nothing to me, but the box was deeper on the outside than it was on the inside. I pressed along the velvet lining, and the tray lifted free. Underneath was an envelope with my name on it. My full legal name, handwritten. Inside was a cashier's check for $60,000, made out to me, dated March 1998, the year I was born. My hands were shaking so hard I had to set it down on the dresser. I called my dad. He's not in the picture. Hasn't been since I was 4, but he's the only person who might know what this was. He answered on the 3rd ring, which was already more than I expected. "There's a cashier's check in Grandma Eloise's jewelry box," I said. "Made out to me. $60,000. From 1998. Do you know what this is?" The pause was too long. Specific. The pause of someone calculating. "Where are you right now?" he said. "Her house. You need to leave. Right now, don't take anything." "Dad, listen to me. That check. Your uncles have been looking for that for 20 years. If they find out you have it." He stopped. "Just leave." I didn't leave. "Tell me what this is," I said. He talked fast and low. My grandfather had set aside money for me specifically. He knew his sons, knew what they'd do with the estate. The check was made out to me directly, held by my grandmother until I turned 18. She never gave it to me. She was going to, my dad said, and something in his voice made me sick. "But your uncles found out when you were 16, pressured her, said you didn't deserve it, it should stay in the family." He exhaled. "She was old and alone, and they were all she had. She hid it instead of fighting them. Told them she destroyed it. She didn't destroy it." "No, she didn't." I looked at the check in my hand. 26 years. I'd spent my entire life being cut out, passed over, told I didn't belong. I'd struggled through college on loans. I'd worked doubles to make rent while my uncles lived in the house my grandfather built. And the whole time, $60,000 was sitting in a hidden compartment 40 feet from where they ate dinner every Sunday. "Is it still valid?" I asked. "Cashier's checks don't expire," my dad said. "But the second you try to cash it, they'll know. They'll contest it. They'll say she was coerced, that it was stolen, anything. It has my name on it. They have lawyers." I stood there looking at the check, the jewelry box, the empty dresser. Then I heard a car pull into the driveway. I pocketed the check, slid the tray back, closed the jewelry box, and went out the back window exactly the way I came in. I drove straight to my bank, then to a notary, then to an attorney. The attorney said the same thing my dad did. They'd fight it. But she also said something else. A cashier's check is a negotiable instrument. My name is on it, issued by a bank that still exists. She could make a case. My uncles called me 11 days later. Someone had been in the house. Something was missing. They had questions. I let it go to voicemail. The case settled 4 months later. They didn't want a court date, it turned out. Didn't want a judge asking why 3 grown men had spent 20 years pressuring an elderly woman to bury her dead husband's final wish in a jewelry box. I deposited the check on a Thursday morning. My grandfather tried to take care of me before he ever met me. His sons spent 2 decades making sure he failed. They almost pulled it off.